In this video, we're going to talk about Aptos from developer's perspective. I'm going to tell you how great Aptos is, as well as how great Move is for building your Web3 project. So we're going to start with the basics. I'm going to show you a couple of tutorials, how you can start with Move language, because Move in the end is all about security, but also it's super easy with the SDK being simple to understand, really well documented, and you will have tutorials for everything. So I'm going to show you that in a moment. First of all, let's have a look at the Aptos website. This is Aptos Foundation. Aptos is the blockchain network with everything you need to build your big idea. Let's move. And the motto is make your move from the Move language. So your big idea meets its match and bring it to life on Aptos. Many different partners, of course, strong leadership when it comes to Aptos, and they have the super long outlook they want to really build for the future, so that's really great. And they have really important and unique components within Aptos networks that I'm going to show you. If you're a developer, then of course what's important is having a community, and this is what they have. Not only they have different docs that you can access, but you have access to different grants if you want to build. They are super open to all the feedback, either directly on Discord or in other places, so definitely worth checking out. As you can see, they also have different events happening all the time. Right now, for example, the next one will be in Seoul in South Korea, the Aptos experience, and you can have a look at that. So they really want to make an impact here and have as many developers as possible to build on Aptos, because in the end, this network is really great for developers. So you can see all the stats here, but we're going to go directly to the things that you can learn from here. Aptos documentations, and you will have explained everything from what is Move language. You can see how, for example, Aptos shows data storage, parallelization, which is super important when it comes to having transactions at the same time, how it comes with transaction safety built in, and different Move features as well. So this is really interesting. Also, there are a couple of things that are unique and that you can basically learn directly from the Aptos documentation. What I wanted to mention as well is, for example, building your first fungible asset, building your first Move module. It's super simple with these tutorials. You have everything explained to you. Also, all the standards. We're going to come back to that, but basically Aptos have digital asset standard for NFTs and digital fungible asset standard, and those are built in directly, and there are different examples on how you can use it with everything explained here. Also, there's a cool new website called Aptos Learn, where you can access to all the tutorials. We're going to have a look at that right away. And for example, you can build an application like Optogochi for beginners. There are cool things like on-chain randomness, to which I will come back because this is really unique, and this gives you access to randomness on-chain directly with just one simple command. Then you can create your own NFTs with digital assets. Fungible assets here are available as well, so you can basically just start tutorial, start learning right away. You have all the code with explanations, and this is really cool if you want to learn how to create your own Web3 project on Aptos. So this is really, really helpful, and they have a lot of tutorials. Also, they have two paths if you want to start. First of all, they have a crash course for Web3 onboarding. If you're already a Web2 developer, so for example, you're coding in Rust and I want to switch to Web3 to crypto and I want to code on Aptos, this is the course for you, of course, available for free on Aptos Learn website. And the second thing is a crash course for Web3 developers that are coming from other blockchains or maybe did something in the past but want to start with Move language right now, and this will be the course for you. And of course, there are different examples that you can use from different integrations, on-chain randomness, building a stable coin on Aptos, and a bunch of other stuff. So as I've mentioned, Move language itself, as well as Move on Aptos, is really well documented. If you're a developer and wanting to start your application, you couldn't find a better spot here than just going directly on Aptos Learn or Aptos blog posts and trying to learn from the source directly. Now, I mentioned that I wanted to mention a couple of cool stuff that can happen on Aptos. So first of all, You have digital assets. Those are really interesting standard, but basically this is an NFT standard built into Aptos. The cool stuff about them is that they offer much more flexibility than other NFT standards. They're dynamic, allow you for easy airdrops, seamless transfers, and basically they're pretty simple in the end. And also everything really costs almost nothing when it comes to gas, and they also have reduced gas costs, so that's really cool, and they're composable in the end. I also mentioned on-chain randomness, and this is something that you should have a look at, especially if you use any kind of randomness in your games, on Web3 games, or maybe some kind of an NFT project that you want to have built in on-chain randomness, or maybe you're building a token with on-chain randomness for some cool feature. Then basically you have just one function that you have to use in order to have a random number in move, and that's really, really cool. From Aptos framework, calling randomness and having an integer or bytes, that's really, really simple. And then you use the Aptos roll function. So that's really, really simple in the end. Now, let's go with the parallelism. So that's another feature that's very important. As I've mentioned, you have parallel transactions, meaning they happen at the same time. And for that, on Aptos, you have Block STM engine. This is the engine introduced, and that's offering this multi-threaded in-memory parallel execution engine, making everything much faster with less gas being used around it. So you can read more about it directly in the on the blog post. I'm also going to give you a couple of links down below in the description if you want to read any of that, and if you want to start with Aptos. So things like learning about Move language, starting with creating your own tokens. I give you all the links down below in the description, because of course it's super important to have all the links in one place. Now, finally, what I want to mention is keyless. Keyless accounts that are available on Aptos allow you to basically have your blockchain account, but from your Google account. So you log in with Google account, your user is logging in from Google account, but this allows him to create a blockchain wallet without even having to remember private key or stuff like that. So it's super simple, and it's very easy to integrate that within your blockchain application, which means that from the perspective of your users and users, this will be something really interesting and easy to use. As you can see, it's just about installing the basic features, and then you can have the application here and how to integrate keyless accounts into your own application. Finally, what I want to mention is that the Move community itself on Aptos is pretty big and growing. Different collaborative efforts, for example, here you have the Move Developers DAO being created. But basically, there are different things happening around the world. As I've mentioned, the conference in Seoul, conferences in other places around the world. This one is, for example, community, largest Move developer community in India. But there are things happening around the world for Move on Aptos everywhere. So if you were willing to join, you could easily find people that will be able to help you with building your Move applications on Aptos directly. And the entire community is very open, trying to attract as many developers as possible, because this is what makes it in the end really, really special. So this is it when it comes to the introduction to Aptos. I really wanted to for you to start on Aptos, especially if you're looking for your place in Web3. Myself, I really like it. There are really cool stuff happening on Aptos, as I've mentioned, from those different experiences around the world, from different conferences, to all the assets that you can learn from, discovering how you can use Aptos in your projects, how you can connect with the community. They have a Discord, they have those in real life events. So there are many stuff that you can have, especially from the developer perspective. So have a look, make your move, and check out Aptos Foundation for all the details on how to build your first Web3 application using Move language on Aptos. Thank you for watching, subscribe to the channel, see you in the next video.